Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be discussing the dangers of weight loss. There are so many trends and products out there that claim that they will help you lose weight, but some of these have really serious and dangerous side effects, and we're going to be discussing that in this video. I just want to start out by saying I mean no disrespect to anyone I talk about within this video. I am making this video purely for educational purposes, and I want to raise awareness for the dangers of some of the products out there and the importance of doing your research before putting something in your body or doing anything drastically crazy. And with that being said, I would like to send my deepest condolences to the people mentioned in this video and their families and friends. So the first case I want to talk about is Eloise Amy Perry. Eloise bought some tablets online that promised to help her lose weight. Sadly, these pills will be a lot more dangerous than she first thought. Eloise had sadly struggled with her body image for a long time, and as a result she decided she wanted to take more pills than were recommended. Little did she know that just taking 2 pills was considered a lethal dose. As soon as Eloise started to feel ill, she went straight to the hospital. However, she wasn't presenting such serious side effects, and at first no one realised how bad the situation was. Things became a lot more serious when they realised she had taken dinitrophenol. Crazily enough, this is a very similar compound to TNT and is considered not suitable for humans. This drug resulted in her metabolism soaring and they could not cool her down quick enough. Soon she was struggling to breathe and they popped her on a ventilator. However, sadly she passed away later on. When her heart stopped, they did everything they could to revive her again, but sadly she did pass away on April 12th at the age of 21. This is just so sad because I am now 22, and to think of someone passing away younger than me due to the insecurities that being overweight or seeing your body in a way that you shouldn't see it, dealing with body dysmorphia, it's just so sad. It's just so sad that this can escalate to such a serious level. It also just goes to show how dangerous it is buying stuff online as well. You never know what you're getting and it can be life-threatening, literally life-threatening. This is a substance that should never have been in a tablet or a pill. It should never have been consumed by humans, and sadly it was. And also, having a drug that has such a narrow therapeutic range, which basically means that there is a very fine line between a dose that is either an underdose or an overdose. That is such a dangerous drug to have just available for the public to buy and consume, because it can have such serious side effects. The fact that 2 tablets is lethal means that this therapeutic range is minuscule and that it is so easy to overdose on. And even with the therapeutic range being that small, if something were to go wrong in the manufacturing process and more of the substance was to go into one capsule than another, that could cause a fatal dose, even with people abiding by the instructions given on the bottle. And that is a scary thought. If you are thinking of taking medication to lose weight, I would highly recommend talking to your doctor or going to your pharmacist, because there are drugs available on prescription, there are drugs available over the counter that will help you if you need it. So don't be afraid to reach out to the professionals out there, because they are willing and able to help you. The next case we're going to talk about may surprise you, because the substance that killed her is something that millions of people consume on a daily basis. Caffeine is found in many and most, if not all, weight loss products, and I'm sure anyone taking caffeine products is never going to consider the fact that it might lead to their death. Now, this story scares me most because it is based in East Grinstead, and I grew up in East Grinstead, and to have something so close to home really does knock you off your seat a little bit. But this is the story of Katie Gould, who was 25 and bought some weight loss pills online that were caffeine based. Now, Katie took these pills and was sadly very ill after taking it. She was sick and then she went to bed. However, her health only declined from there. This mother of 2 was rushed to hospital where they did everything they could to revive her, but sadly there was nothing they could do and she did pass away. The amount of caffeine that was pumping through her veins was the equivalent of drinking 54 cups of coffee in one go. This had very serious implications for her and resulted in her going into cardiac arrest. And the scariest part was that because she had this cardiac arrest so soon after taking the pills, the levels of caffeine probably hadn't even reached their peak yet, so it could have been a lot higher and a lot worse. Now, although I haven't had kids myself, I know that having kids can change your opinion of your body a lot, and your body goes through a level of change that is so big and it goes through it in such a small amount of time that I can only imagine what a mental strain it does actually have on you, especially if you are very sensitive with how your body looks. And it's so sad again that someone got so overwhelmed with how they felt about their body that they felt they needed to turn to something that was potentially dangerous and had such a serious consequence in the end. The next case we're talking about is Lachlan Foot, I'm really hoping I'm saying that right, who was a 21-year-old from Australia. He again died from a caffeine overdose, but in a form of a product that we probably use on a very regular basis, especially if you are someone who goes to the gym and uses supplements, and that is a pre-workout formulation. Lachlan mixed a scoop of the caffeine product into his drink and drank it before his workout, and shortly after that he sadly passed away. The FDA did make lots of restrictions on how you could actually sell caffeine products to make sure that the public couldn't get their hands on lethal doses. Sadly, these companies would find loopholes though so that they could sell these products, and they sold these products with very misleading and misguiding labeling. These restrictions on selling bulk to the public were masked by having labels such as saying for manufacturing purposes only, but the public were able to get hold of them. They would also not put directions on how much to take on each dose, and they would provide a scoop in with the packaging. However, a scoop of that size could be 2 to 3 times an overdose of caffeine. And the thing that scares me most still is that there was also another product that needed a special pump to be able to administer the right dose for each person or individual. However, this was not included with the product, and the only thing that was included was a measuring cup, which resulted in lots of people taking doses that were higher than they were meant to. I think I can speak for lots of people here that they would never think that something like their workout product could result in them passing away, and we do really have to be careful where we're buying our products from. Make sure we are being really safe with it, and please just do your research before you buy something and go through brands that you know and trust and that are certified, because you never know what you're putting in your body, and it is so important to look after your body because you only get one and it is simply not worth the risk. The next thing is not necessarily a specific case, it's just a group of cases sort of lumped together, and that is a low-calorie diet. Now, I'm sure lots of us have heard about low-calorie diets. Lots of us, I hope, know that you should not be going below 1200 calories a day, and that is considered unhealthy if you go any lower than that. However, some people push it to the extremes and sometimes only consume 300 to 400 calories a day, if not even less. And sadly, this has led to something called ventricular arrhythmia, which is an issue with your heart, and this resulted in the deaths, especially when the diets that they did eat were very high in protein. These scientists found that if you were on a low-calorie diet of around 300 to 400 calories and you were on this for a few months, then you could struggle with these cardiac issues, which is why it is so important to make sure you are feeding your body enough to actually function as a body. When they were looking at the cardiograms of these people that had sadly passed away, they found very similar links to the cardiac effects of starvation. So basically these people were starving themselves to death, and that is so sad again because it all comes from a place of insecurity, of concern about your weight. A lot of these patients started out as obese and obviously wanted to really help kickstart their health journey. They probably had the best of intentions, but it just has such serious implications. So make sure you're always getting the best advice for your weight loss. Get it from certified people. Make sure you're doing your own research. Go to professionals to help you out. But the other thing to be very careful of here as well is the fact that these people were eating really high protein diets, and it has been found in lots of cases where people were eating really high levels of protein but really low calories overall, and this resulted in the heart issues they face. So make sure you are feeding your body what it needs to be fed. You shouldn't feel the need to cut out any food groups. You can lose weight keeping all your food groups within your diet, and if you are ever unsure on how to safely lose weight, do seek a professional's help. And the final thing I wanted to discuss today was dry scooping, which I'm sure you have heard about, seen. I'm sure you saw it popping up on TikTok where people were taking a whole scoop of pre-workout and just taking it like that, kind of like the cinnamon challenge, and this had some very serious side effects, and it is definitely not recommended to do this, which is why I wanted to bring it up in this video, because it is so easy for something to make a trend. It's so easy with social media nowadays for something to become really popular, and it's come from a really misguided, uneducated place, and you have to be so careful because it is your health and it is your body and you need to look after it. So Dry scooping has very serious implications. By dry scooping, you're at risk of inhaling it, which will go into the lungs and cause irritation and can cause breathing issues. And the main reason people were taking the powder like this is because they believed it hit their system a lot quicker. However, because of the caffeine content that was in these products, it again can result in you having a higher dose of caffeine than you are meant to. This has led to people having heart palpitations due to such a high amount of caffeine hitting their bloodstream in such a small period of time. Now, I work a lot in the medical field and the medicine field, so I know that there are drugs out there that are designed specifically to hit the bloodstream really quickly, and usually that is done through something called a buccal tablet, and you pop it in between your gum and your lip. This basically has such a thin area of skin that it goes straight into your bloodstream really quickly. Now, people might also have experienced this if they've tried to quit smoking and they have tried the nicotine gums, because that you chew up and you pop up your lip, because it makes the nicotine hit your bloodstream a lot quicker and your cravings to go away quicker. So this works in a very similar way. If you are putting the pre-workout powder in your mouth and your skin is really thin in your mouth, you've got lots of capillaries there, it goes into your bloodstream very quickly, but this has a bad implication. As much as you might think it helps you working out, it can also have really serious side effects because it is going into your bloodstream at such a fast increased rate that the manufacturers of that product did not intend for you to do. So if you're putting it in a glass of water, you're going to be consuming that a lot slower and over a longer period of time, as opposed to the whole dose in one go in a matter of seconds. People also had other minor side effects, such as, well, I say minor, it's still pretty bad. It was vomiting, gastric discomfort, just because of the sheer amount of powder that was entering the stomach without water. So it is definitely not recommended to dry scoop, so please follow the directions on the products that are given to you. Please be careful where you are buying these products from, and please be careful of what you are putting your body through, whether that be diet, exercise. Make sure you're doing it in a safe way. And again, just to reiterate, if you are unsure on anything, there is a plethora of information out there, but just make sure you are getting it from a reputable source, and always cross-check what you see and read just to make sure that it is accurate and true. Again, I just want to send out my most heartfelt condolences to the people mentioned in this video and their families and friends, and the poor children as well of the mother that passed away. It is so sad, and I really hope this video might have encouraged you to be a bit more cautious about what you do to get your weight loss, because it is tough. I am still trying to lose weight. I know it's hard waking up every day and not seeing much of a change, but you just gotta keep going and understand that you will get there in the end, and it's not a race, it's not a rush, and the slower, more sustainable way is a lot safer and healthier for your body, and it will be worth it in the end. Feel free to check out some of my other videos here. Bye!